Boom, baby, we're live. Welcome to a special episode today where we are talking about the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit brought to one of my best game advisors that I have on the planet, your gracious host, Mr. King Dre. Morning, King Dre. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, my brother? It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure.
So
Again.
we got the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit starting with the enrollment today, and it's ending on, is it Friday at midnight?
Friday at midnight, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. And I don't play because I go to bed.
Got to go to bed. Got to get the handles. Got to get things handled. You know, we okay. Let me just tell you guys a little bit something about me and King Dre, right? So as you know, I have it on the wall here, Money Muscles Game Frame, and I really just want to clear this up because, quite frankly, and let me ask your opinion on this, Dre. In this corner of the internet, Manosphere, Red Pill, whatever the case may be, wherever we are, kind of filing into, where like what would you put it in regards of a percentage of true and actionable advice versus bullshit advice? Where would you put it? I would put it at probably 10 to 5% of creators are actually putting out legitimate, actionable, quality advice. And I would say the other 90% is complete fucking shit.
Complete shit. Now, let me do this. I'll say this. Now, I do appreciate guys helping guys be more confident, if that's through a red pill or whatever. But when in terms of like being successful with actually being successful with women, like having your way with women, giving you the world and all that, 95% of it is bullshit. Like it's coming from guys who, and this is it's not a shot at anybody, but they didn't live like that.
Yeah.
Before.
So you
understand what I'm saying? A lot of guys come into, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because that's just like me just coming into legit money, right? I didn't know legit money 10 years ago. I didn't even know about credit 10 years ago in my 20s and late 20s and shit. And so there's nothing wrong with not being on a level as somebody else. But as far as the player game, as far as the game with women, a lot of guys just didn't live like that. And so they get their money from YouTube and coaching, and then they get into the game, so.
Yeah. I noticed too that like, just observing people, because I'm always watching people, right? And it's funny. Like for me, I don't know, man. I'm pretty strict judge of character. But if I'm around a dude and he like starts acting like supplementary, like supplicating to a woman around me, like that guy in my book, it's just like he just plummets in regards to his respect. I'm just like, oh God, like And it's funny how these guys don't stand up to these chicks and how they don't, put the chicks in their place because they want to be put in their place. That's how they feel fucking safe. And dude, honestly speaking, I think like really just because a guy's getting pussy doesn't really mean shit, right?
Yeah, especially today. Pussy is easy to get today. Pussy is very like they throwing it, especially in America. They throwing it out in America. It's like
these girls have no self-respect these days. They're doing whatever they got to. They'll give it to whoever. You know what I mean? They'll just they have no idea that men actually cherish a woman who is like, has some chastity about herself, has a little bit of selectiveness, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because who wants to go with somebody like, it's the guy who's friends with everybody. You're like, motherfucker, are you really my friend?
Right.
You know what I mean? My biggest thing is this, right? So many guys out there think they have game, and literally 95% of these dudes don't. And a lot of people, and I'm coaching a couple people right now, right? And one of these individuals I'm coaching, he is a gentleman who is very successful, makes a 6-figure income, and he is a 7-figure net worth. And his whole life, he's been low key, like a few steps above being a trick, because he was just told, oh, only thing that matters is money. If you just get money, women are going to want to date you no matter what. Women are going to want to be with you. And that's just not the case at all. Like you're going to need to have game to get women. And I just don't, I think so many people are so caught up, especially in America, right? Everybody's like, America's like clout culture, right? Everybody's like clout, status, 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 you know?
Status, money, money, money. That
And that A, that's not going to attract a quality woman. And B, if you have no game, you're going to most likely attract a predatorial woman who's going to try and fleece you.
right. See, what they don't understand is right, John. Women don't only operate out of their feelings and humanity; they also operate on ego too. And so when you focus on the status part, status is a good attractor, but it only satisfies a woman's ego. After that, you can't. The status doesn't really do anything for voids, or her dad didn't hug her, or long walks on the beach, or intimacy. Statusy doesn't do that. It just makes her feel like she has an important a man. And when you go down and you get in the when a woman get in the shower and the makeup washes off and she got to look ugly and lay down, the ego shit dies. And so now what do you have? And so a lot of what's in this space is a lot of guys are their strategies are appealing to women's ego, but the ego game don't last long. You see what I'm saying? It's effective. You get some clout. Yeah, you can get women, but at the end of the day, like you said, it means nothing at the end of the day. You're not going to be able to keep a woman around just based on status and based on money. You know what I'm saying? Because women are designed to separate you from your fucking money if you don't have your game together. A simp and his money shall part.
Right. So there's obviously a huge problem in the world right now. And it's just that men are basically clueless when it comes to women.
Yes.
Right. For guys like us, it's like insultingly easy. Let me ask you something. You ever, like, obviously you're a high level game playing guy, right? How lazy are you with your pickup attempts these days?
It's like as lazy as can be. Like, it's like I don't even put much in. That's why my work don't even revolve around pickup at all. Like, it's like in these days, really, man, I don't really even have to do that no more. Like, once you build yourself to a certain level, and then you're so used to, this is what guys don't understand. When women pour into you by treating you good, right? You get something from that. That radiates within you. The things that they're pouring into you, that good treatment, that validation, that love, and all that shit that they give you when you know how to, demand this from them, that makes you walk a certain type of way. And women smell that shit on you.
Yep.
That confidence, not to say that a woman is supposed to make who you are, but women can contribute to your glow and to your aura. You see what I'm saying? This is why guys bring hot chicks on their arm to parties and shit like this, right? And so, what's more effective is when you have a woman who's treating you good and pouring into you, right? I said that to say, once you get to a certain level, which is the ultimate, ladies, man, teaches you how to get to this level, is all the steps are covered for you, right? Once you get to this certain level, you don't have to like spend all your time in the streets doing pickup and shit. You see what I'm saying? The game kind of comes to you.
Yeah, it's it's so daunting from my perspective as a men's coach that I've been doing this for a couple years now, just to see how bad the average guy is with women. It is like incredibly daunting, and it's just like, to be honest, like, it's no wonder that everything's so fucked up. It's like, no wonder the men are fucked up and the women are fucked up. But like, it's 50-50. But what happened? Where did we go wrong? Where did these secrets get like lost in the cracks? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say they got lost, but it's always been kind of an underground thing, right? But this is the thing. Back then, we had a more, in society is civilized today, but back then there was more of a structure, and everybody was robotic. So you found a wife and you built a family. The game shit didn't really matter, right? Because people were more so dutiful to the society and the way society wanted you to be, right? So you didn't need game. All you need is resources, right? But there were guys who were ladies men. Always, that was kind of a secret underground thing. And
Mhm.
before the advent of the internet, it was only certain guys who was able to be good like that. But again, you didn't need it back then. Now everybody's free and liberal and doing their own thing. People are moving away from society's norms, men and women. We doing our own thing. We telling men, don't go to college, fuck college, be your own boss and all this shit. Versus before, we would go to school to go get a trade or join the fucking military or go to college so we can get a good $50,000 a year job and buy us a $90,000 house and just ride a fucking way. Those days are gone, right? But the women are free too. And so they have economic opportunities. So they don't need your money. But at the end of the day, they still want to have fun. They still have needs. They still are women and they still need that, right? And so now what we have is with the separation of the resources and the money from the man, you need something else to keep them. You see what I'm saying? And this art was never taught because it was always an underground thing. Like they used to say when I was coming up, the game is to be sold, not told. And so you just don't give everybody game. You just don't give everybody tools to, because what happens is if I give you this information, right? If you're a bad guy, you can take this information to do a lot of and do a lot of damage. It's like computer programming, right? Good information, but in the wrong hands, you don't get a guy who creates apps. He creates fucking malware to hack into your shit. Right. So it's the same thing with the game. So the game has always been underground and it was only given to guys that were worthy. When pimps wanted to give you game back in the days, they didn't just give everybody game. They saw a guy and they had to deem him worthy and they took him through the ringers and he had to either pay to get game, right, to be in the game, or, you know, had to pay with money or sweat equity to prove himself. You see what I'm saying? But you know, again, you have this free society now and guys have never been taught women for real. And I'm not talking about this female nature bullshit. And let me not call it bullshit that's in this space. That I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about women for real. Guys have never been taught that because there was no need for it 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. It was no need for it. There's a need for it now because you have to keep women in line somehow.
So women have freedom. Women have money. Women have choice. Why are they at an all-time high of misery?
Because there's with freedom and with choice and with money comes danger, and you put yourself into the wild with no protection. And it's stressful. It's rough out here. It's rough out here for men. It's why a lot of men drink. It's why a lot of men get fat. This is why a lot of men gamble, because it's like dealing with the masculine problems of the world and that uncomfortability is not easy. It's women are not designed to do that. So you happy on the front end. You get a little temporary pleasure, right? Because you get your degree and shit. But over the long term, you see what I'm saying? Now you out here with no protection. You in the world basically with no protection, with nobody to lean on, right? Because you chose to basically be a man and take on the things that men have always had to take on.
Right.
You know, but this is the thing. Men have it in us to kill this misery by performing and doing work and, you know, providing the world value. Women typically don't do that. Women typically go to work and then go home, right? A lot of the times a woman's happiness comes from her family, you know, providing for a family and nurturing and being, it's not building things in society, it's nurturing and caring for society. You see what I'm saying? That's why nurses be happy as fuck all the time. Well, I want to say happy, but women who do nurse work and women who do community work or like service-based to where they can nurture and take care of. But a lot of women are forfeiting that, but they not building anything either. And so they suffer in misery. So we out here in the world and we doing all this shit and we taking on all this stress and this uncomfortability. We can go back and tap into, we can go read our comments and see how much we've built. Oh, you know, John, you the best. MLD, you fucking changed my life. You see what I'm saying? From fulfilling that sense of purpose. So men have that to fall back on, but women have taken a man's role, right? But they don't have their shit to fall back on to kind of kill that. They lean on doctors and medicine and shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yeah, they're the number one users of prescription drugs and abusers of prescription drugs as well as females. Um, heavy, man. So let me ask you something. Obviously, guys like us, yeah, like we don't ever have to worry about women for the rest of our life. We're
Yeah, I'm
sorted.
pretty much good. I'm straight.
I'm fucking sick of it. But let me ask you this, right? How does a guy learn this stuff? It's clearly confusing, right? What is the most effective way for a guy to learn this shit?
Find somebody who knows what the fuck they talking about
Mm-hmm.
and tune out all the other noise.
Hmm.
And this is how you know how you're talking about. He knows what he's talking about. If you take his free advice and it changed your life, my advice, and I hate to sell myself, but
No,
I've been putting out free advice every day for years,
mm-hmm.
every single day. That's how much game I have. Free advice. So you don't have to buy one course from me and your life will change for the better.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not about, see, a lot of guys fall into this, oh, well, show me some receipts. My receipts are the amount of work I put in. Oh, well, I don't see any pictures of you with girls, right? It's nothing to see. Guys they like women, right? A lot of guys are feminine, and so they bedazzled by beauty and lights and imagery, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so all you have to do nowadays with these guys, all they got to do is go do a photo op in fucking Colombia somewhere, or do a fucking photo op in Taiwan or somewhere where these cheap hoes at, right?
Takes 2 seconds to be like, hey, you want to take a picture
Hey,
with
you
me?
want to take a picture with me? Or go to
These girls,
Vegas. Hey, you want to take a
still,
picture with me?
these
Hey, I'll
girls are
buy you a
so
drink, take a
talented.
picture. And
That,
so, and when you these guys, when they see this, they like, oh shit, he gets all the bitches, right? And then they buy a $10,000 course, and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is this shit? Right? Look at the guy who can change your life for free. I
yeah.
don't have to post. I mean, I post my women in my private groups and shit like that, but I don't deal with hookers and hoes and Instagram. I deal with real women with real fucking careers and real women who don't want to be some fucking dating
Oh,
coaches concubine on the fucking internet. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? So learn to answer your question is you have to learn how to separate the real from the fake and then follow the real, because you'll confuse your brain following this and doing all this shit. I'm not telling you to follow me, right? There's other people who are thorough and legit in this game. It's not a lot of them, but you have to learn how to, you know, it's just like women who put on this tight shit to bedazzle you with the eye.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They put on tight
Corset.
shit to bedazzle you with the eye because it's trickery, right? When you see coaches or influencers doing that, that's their way of overcompensating for a lack of game. I
Yeah.
can get on here. I ain't have a haircut in a week. I got a regular polo sweater, no none of that shit. But it's straight game.
Hmm.
Because I live like this. I don't have to dress up for it. So that's real and that's authentic. You have to learn how to spot the fake.
So
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, that's great. And I wanted to elaborate on your point a little bit further. So how does one identify a fake versus a real one aside from some guy posting photos? Because I truly believe, like, I don't post my women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my private life. And
Right.
if you're a guy who actually has game and you actually understand that building a relationship with a woman is a good thing, like, you do not want to just take your woman and prostitute her out to the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's your private thing. Like,
Right.
that's my private prize,
Me
you know.
too.
And we don't want to be out here parading our chicks around for what reason? And I'm not with no fucking wildebeest either, bro. My
Right.
girl's
Right.
cute.
Yeah,
And so
you got some hotties.
so yeah, you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so the reality is, outside of that, it's very hard to spot because it's just the average male truly is so clueless.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say to add on to that?
Just
Obviously,
take the advice, the free advice they give you.
Mhm.
People who are not ashamed of their product will let you test drive it.
Yeah,
You know, they'll let you test drive it.
yeah,
They'll let you test drive it.
and we're
Or
gonna
they'll give you something for free,
and
right? You know,
that's what we're doing today, right? We're test driving a
yeah,
couple of your things.
test driving them, giving them free. Go look at my work. Go look at your work. You put out work. You live stream every day.
Mhm.
Like you, for example. You literally live stream every single day for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, every day, giving game all day, every day. Nothing is paid. You can just come and do it. You can't fake that for too long.
Mm.
You can't fake doing that every day. You can't fake real work.
Mm-hmm.
I put out videos every single day for the last 4 years. You cannot fake that. And it's not the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You can't fake that. So take the free, if somebody's giving you free advice, take it. It don't take nothing. It's not gonna hurt you to take somebody's advice. Because it's easy for me to I can convince my real hoes to take pictures with me and post them on the internet.
Easily.
But at the end of the day, number one, too, the type of I don't want those type of people. I don't want guys in my network who are easily bedazzled by fucking imagery.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't even want those type of guys in my network or even spending money with me, because all money is not good money, right?
Those dudes are most likely tricks too. Like if they get easily, stimulated by that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the girls I've been dating for a while she's in one of my courses. I won't say which one, but she's in the course. You know which one. You know which one I'm talking about.
I don't know. I seen your courses. This is a lot. I don't know which. I gotta see. I gotta go back and look.
Yeah, she's in the dark pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man. You have to apply the free advice, and yeah, it's about, honestly, I want to talk about this too, man. So, would you say at this point, I think, are you 38 now or 37?
38. Yeah, I just turned.
Just turned 38.
I turned 38. Yeah, 38. I just turned 38.
Cool. So 38 years old. You've been in the game for 20
Lost
plus
my virginity
years.
when I was 15. So
there you go. So 23 years. Now, at this point in your life as a 38-year-old man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still learning and leveling up in the game, or have you maxed out?
No, you can always, there's never, with women and their shit. I accidentally unhid him too, by the way. That was my fault.
You're good.
With women are constantly evolving. The game is constant. The game is you have foundation of the game which is, certain principles remain, right? Mm-hmm. But the game is ever evolving. Mm-hmm. And women are evolving. Women have changed. And this is why guys are lost too, because they think guys are playing like it's 1950 and 1960 and 1970 and 1980, and women have evolved. So to answer your question, there's always something to learn. Women always got new tricks, the new ways of thinking, new ideologies to learn from. That's what makes it exciting for me. It's like, like basketball or some shit like that. The basketball is going to be basketball, right? Mm-hmm. But the game of life and human beings and women and social dynamics and, dating and relationships is ever evolving. Like mm-hmm. women were different 10 years ago, let alone 50 years ago. Women were completely different 10 years ago than they are now. So, don't ever get to a point, for the guys watching, that you think that you just know it all and that's just it. Nah, because the guys who know it all, who knew it all in 1990, that shit means nothing now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why when I see certain people like giving advice on dating apps, and I'm like, dude, you stopped dating in the 90s. Like,
yeah, that's
what are you talking about? Like when was the last time you pulled a girl within 1 hour of matching her off of Tinder and fucked her?
Women were completely different 10 years ago, let alone the 90s. Complete, like the game has anybody who's was successful then and ain't been in it now, these hoes now will run circles around you, man. So it's like, yeah, that's crazy to me.
So why are women? Do you think women are getting worse in the States? Do you think women their behaviors and just because it just seems they've become more savage and more heartless?
Yeah, but I think that's a result, and I know a lot of times this community, I know not your audience, but I know, we do kind of cross paths in this community. A lot of this community don't like to take accountability. If we the leaders and we the kings and, men are the leaders and the alpha males and we're supposed to be the head of the household and shit, then you have to take responsibility for your bitch being out of control. right? And America's bitch is out of control, but that's because the men are so weak, right? Men don't have their women in line, which is what I teach you how to do, and not with an iron fist either. I teach you how to do it the right way, the effective way, which is here. When you control a person here, and it's not even about control like you have a prisoner or an animal, but in order to be an effective leader, you have to command the attention and you have to command the submission of the people who follow you, which is your children, your women, and your family. And and today in 2022, you can't do that with an iron fist. This ain't the 40s where you can beat a bitch across the side of the head, and fucking 1880 where you can put your boots in a bitch ass and all that. That's out. You can't do that. You have to get them here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answered your question, but
it does. No, it answers the question perfectly, because I said this the other day. I was watching Coach Greg Adams and Hafiz talk on Valuetainment today.
I watched that.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I had to do that. Sorry I had to go through that. And I just noticed that I don't think I have nothing against the guy, but I don't think Coach Greg Adams has game at all. And I specifically told this to, Coach Greg Adams strikes me as a trick. But I mean, come on, but the point I'm trying to make is this. During that time, I had to stop the episode and I had to clearly reiterate to the guys, game is completely useless to you as a man if you do not know how to be a leader.
Right.
If you do not know how to be a leader, it's only a matter of time before she's out. If she doesn't, and it's twofold. One, do you find a woman that can
shut up and take my money,
shut up and follow you, right?
Right.
And two, are you man enough to lead her? And a lot of men nowadays are not leaders. A lot of dudes are gigantic pussies.
Right.
And not only that, they don't even know how to lead. That's why I added this part into the core 4, right? Frame. Right? Because frame is what, my talks with you in 2021 and Paul and Wraith, Paul Apex Mindset, Wraith Masculine Journey. Those guys, you three, really had a big hand in changing my life and changing my total perspective of reality, and helped me formulate some things that we put together for the Dark Past, which was amazing success as well. But let me ask you something. Do you agree with me when I say that? Like, men absolutely must be leaders if they want to be successful in game?
Yeah, and you don't have to lead. See, the thing too, what scares guys off is like when you say leaders, they think you got to get out here and lead 1,000 men into battle. And no, you just have to lead your life and lead your fucking household. You can be a beta male, or when I say beta male, I mean like you can go have a job and work and come home and lead your fucking home.
Yeah,
lead your relationship. As a man, that's your duty to do that. Like there's no, unless you get with a woman who, unless you get with a woman, because nowadays, again, women have evolved. So you do have women who would rather lead, or they think that they can, and they're more attractive to guys who are more submissive. But is that going to make you happy? Right. I don't think that that's going to make no guy that watches us happy. Right.
Yeah.
But no, you have to be able to lead. None of that shit means nothing. You can have, and game is a part of leadership anyway. A part of game is leadership. They go hand in hand.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is like, not like leader at work or whatever, but you absolutely have to lead the woman, and you have to lead the children if you do have children as well.
Yes.
Because if you don't control your children are, one, going to be feral animals, and two, you're going to look like a fool because your kids are going to go out there and fuck their lives up. A man is the head of the household and the number one person responsible for the family, right? Not the mother.
And that's just the way we make it. When you see things happen, and you look at the man, when you see things happen with a family, or if the family go broke and everything turns upside down, we blame the fucking man. The man gets fucking blamed. You know what I'm saying? So you are definitely, and I think nature designed it to be like that. I think God designed it to be that way for a reason. This is why your body produces the hormones it produces. But you have to be a leader, And again, you don't have to lead men into battle. You don't have to lead a Fortune 500 CEO. You don't even have to have your own fucking business, but you must lead your home. You must lead your children with proper game, proper instruction, and proper boundaries. The thing about boundaries is this, and this is how women and children feel about boundaries. So don't forget this, clip this or whatever. Women, when you're a man and you lack boundaries and you don't have boundaries, women don't feel safe and they don't feel loved. They don't feel like you care for them if you don't have boundaries. Right? Children are the same. You know, yeah, your parents, you know, of course kids would love to stay up all night and play the game and eat as many crackers and Cheez-Its and, you know, eat chips all fucking day and drink juice all day, right? Yes, temporarily, but at the end of the day, a kid won't feel loved if you're not parenting and leading that child the way that it should be led. And a woman will feel the same if you don't have proper boundaries in place. A woman will feel like you don't really love her or care for her.
So let me, okay, because that's a really high level concept. So I want to challenge you on that one. Okay. So let's say your boundaries are women that you date, like let's say this, you don't date women seriously who provocatively post their body on Instagram. That's your boundary. And let's say your girl, she gets a bathing suit and she takes a bikini selfie in the mirror and posts it on her Instagram story. She has like 2,000 followers, right? You're not okay with that. How does you saying, hey, this is my boundary, how does that make her feel love?
That's not going to make her feel love. Like trying to change a player's game, Jay-Z said you can't change a player's game in the ninth inning, right? So if you get with a woman who's a stripper, right? Or you get with a woman who posts provocative pictures on the internet, and when you came into her life, that's what she was doing because you liked the picture. You was liking the picture.
She wasn't doing that prior, but then at some point.
But if she wasn't doing it prior, she more than likely won't do it, right? And this is where your leadership, true leadership, comes in. Is you supposed to set your rules and your program from the fucking beginning. You don't wait to do that 9 months in. So there's a line you do it. So now you want to wait to 2 years to try to enforce boundaries. Now that just comes across as you insecure. What does this come from? You know, I thought you were okay with it. You see what I'm saying? The boundaries and shit and the rules and the program, that starts very beginning. Before you even make a woman your girlfriend, or you invest into her fully to start a family or whatever, your non-negotiable should already be on the table. Your boundaries are already set. But trying to come and change a person or trying to get somebody to live a certain type of way based on, you know, because if it ain't a boundary, let's say this is how they look at it. So
I don't want to go too deep in that direction because I want to understand for the audience. How does enforcing your boundaries translate to her feeling loved?
Because if you are a righteous person, and you know your boundaries are rooted in safety and the you know, a safe environment. Typically, our boundaries are rooted in being safe, progression, love, not being harmed, making more money, right? And so when a woman comes in and she sees that you have these things in place to protect her, to make more money so she can live a comfortable life, that shows that, okay, this guy loves me. This guy wants me to be the best person and the best version of myself so I could be the best version of myself for my kids or my family or whatever. When a woman walks into your life and you have no structure, you have no boundaries, she's like, well, he can't never love me. He don't even love his goddamn self. You see what I'm saying? But if you know, to go back to your example, let's say she does slip up and she say, you know, she posts a picture and she's never done it before. Let's just say that does happen. But when you explain to her, you don't go and curse her out. Oh, you slut bitch. You say, hey, listen, when you post pictures like this, other men, you may not look at it like this, but other men, you look at you like you inviting them in sexually. And this is what's going to happen. They're going to approach you in this sexual manner and they're going to DM you. And a lot of these guys know me. And so when they see me in the workplace, they're going to put bullshit in my ear and confuse me and this and this and that. And in order to, you know, for us to be safe and for order for us to be happy and for order for us to have a, you know, a safe, loving environment, certain things can't happen. We have to keep certain elements out of our relationship. And one of the elements that we have to keep outside of our relationship is male sexual attention. You understand what I'm saying? It's a way that you explain things, and guys don't know how to communicate. And the reason they don't know, and I don't want to go too far left, and the reason that they don't know how to communicate is because they don't even know what the fuck they want, or they don't know how to, they know, okay, it's wrong for a woman to invite sexual attention, but they haven't done enough self-reflection to even see why, because they heard some other guy say it. But when you understand why something shouldn't happen, it's easy for you to get that point across with her without you being insecure, without you yelling or being forceful and shit. But you can explain something with love. Hey, when you invite sexual attention into the relationship, it confuses things, and this is how it confuses things. And when these things are confused, this happens to us. And if this happens to us, you don't get happy life. You don't get, peaceful environment. You don't get nail spas and all this old bullshit because it's tainted now. You see, that's how it's a deep concept, but I try not to go that far into it, but yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. It's really good. So, okay. So let's talk about the course. So the course is a double-headed attack. First things first, you get 4 video courses. 4 full courses.
Full, like 3 hours a piece.
Yeah. So that right there is 12 hours. And then starting next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have live training on Zoom where you are going to be giving a total breakdown of everything that these guys need in order to become the total ladies man. And that's in the description box. So we're talking about on the 21st, we have online Casanova. On the 22nd, Money Game, Keys to Financial Freedom. The 23rd, Advanced Long-Term Relationship Game. On the 24th, Understanding Sex and Bedroom Escalation. On the 25th, we take a little Q&A course break. So with that time, we're just answering everybody's questions. On the 26th, we're talking about the Mastering the Art of Seduction. The 27th, we're building the optimal physique. And then on the 28th, we're talking about inner game development, where I will be leading the discussion and conversation for inner game. Those are all at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Really jam-packed course here, full of a lot of information. What could a guy expect coming out of this course? Let's say he sits down, he watches all your courses, he attends all of the live presentations. Then what happens to him?
He'll never worry about women ever again. I can promise you that. You'll never worry about women again. The most you worry about is like them evolving and learning new shit. But as far as getting women, keeping women, I give you my whole life. It's like my whole life is in that, because everything is covered from attraction. So the 4 courses you get Attraction 101. This is how to be attractive. And not the black pill bullshit, which like, you got to have a jawline and all this bullshit, because that's not how women look at things, right? But teaching you how to be attractive and developing personality traits that women find attraction, teaching you how to develop charm, teaching you how to develop charisma, teaching you how to develop a mouthpiece, teaching you how to display intelligence and things like that. Attraction 101. So that you got attraction covered. Then you have the Ultimate Ladies Man Dating Guide. I have a dating system that I've used, that I still use to close. I have one of the best closing rates ever, right? It teaches you step by step what to wear, how to look, what not to say, how to build a connection, right? And so let me talk about connection building real quick. Connection building is very important, because a lot of the times the red pill may make you think that all women are just hoes and they're looking to sleep around and shit. Majority of women are not operating in a whole phase.
Right.
The majority of women in America may go through one at some point, but the majority of women are not operating in a whole phase. Not 8 out of 10 women you meet are just regular, right? Now you got some women who are on some whole shit. They'll fuck you casually or whatever, no connection, right? And so I'm saying this to say, connection building is a skill that all men must have if you want to get laid, because most women are going to require some type of connection in order for them to sleep with you. Now, a connection don't take 50 dates. A connection can take 1 30-minute conversation, but you have to learn how to build that connection, because most women don't just women who are operating outside of a whole phase don't just want to sleep with anybody. They have to feel some sort of connection. So I teach you that in the dating system. I teach you how to spot when a woman wants you to shoot your shot. I teach you how to escalate physically. I teach you how to set your crib up. I teach you how to prevent flakes, the whole nine. So that's course number 2. So you got Attraction 101, you got the dating system, ladies man dating system. Then you have how to make a woman fall in love with you. There's nothing like it, maybe besides the dark past and some of Afi's stuff, but there's nothing like it nowhere. And these are concepts that I brought to this space, right? I didn't invent these concepts, but I brought these concepts to this space. Now a lot of guys, coaches took my courses and they, giving their versions of it or whatever. But the how to make a woman fall in love with you is a science-based approach at getting women to be in love. Love is not like a magical luck thing. Love is science. It's hormones, teaching you how to stimulate hormones, how to display certain things, how to lead her in a certain type of way, how to get women invested in you, because investment is science. Whatever we invest in, we tend to love. And whatever we invested in, it's hard for us to walk away. I brought the investment game to the YouTube streets in the dating game. I brought that. I didn't invent it, but I brought it. Been doing it since high school. So that's the longest course. That's probably 3.5 hours. So you got Attraction 101. I know I'm going on long. You got Attraction 101. We only on the courses. We didn't even talk about nothing else. Attraction 101, the ladies man dating system, how to make a woman fall in love with you. That's 3. So now the new one that I haven't really released is how to make the modern woman submissive. Women today will be submissive. They women at the end of the day. What you see now is a defense mechanism. What you see with modern women is a defense mechanism that's a result of weak men. And when women have to be in society alone, their bodies naturally make them produce more testosterone. It's just survival. You see what I'm saying? So they're a lot more aggressive, a lot more assertive, a lot more combative. And it's pseudo masculinity, right? Just like how you have like when gay guys, they try to be feminine, but it's not real femininity and it's annoying femininity. It's the same way with women trying to be masculine. So it's not real masculinity, but this fake pseudo masculinity that women put on to survive harsh environments, which is the world, is not conducive to men and women's relationship. And so in the making the modern woman submissive course, I teach you how to lower these walls. So King Dre, how do you know how to lower these walls? Well, I'm a black man from the hood, and unfortunately, my community was dealing with the strong and independent woman since the 60s. That cancer has spread to society. So the shit that y'all complaining about now, I grew up with.
Right.
The shit that the mainstream white guys and Spanish guys and Asian guys, the shit that, because feminism attacked the black community first.
Right.
And the cancer spread to mainstream now. And so now you hear white women saying they're strong and independent. Black women been saying this. I grew up like this. When I came in the game dating, I had to date women like this. And I had to learn how to make them submissive. So my life is in this course. So you get my life's work. I've always been good with women. Always. I never went without a drought. I never been on a sex drought, none of that shit, because I came into the game with good mentors. Yeah. And again, we had to deal with what's the modern woman now, how rest in peace Kevin Samuels termed this coin modern woman. Black men have been dealing with women like that since forever. Right? And also, it's just changing now, but growing up in the black community is basically a matriarchy. And so women had the resources and the power because black men have been quote unquote disenfranchised or whatever. That was back in the days. Things have changed now, but the effects are still there. And so me as an 18-year-old kid, pre-internet, right? Pre-internet. So I don't know about social. I don't know about Instagram because I'm almost 40. So there was no Instagram. There was no outlet. Sell drugs, sports, or fucking if you wanted to be successful, sell drugs, sports, or rapper or some shit like that. There's no social media marketing. There's no dating coach. There's none of this internet shit even existed. Right. And so women had the resources and all of this shit. And so if I needed a car to drive to go make my plays, the woman had the car, because I didn't have as a black kid at 18 years old, I didn't have a credit score. I didn't have good credit. I didn't even have no fucking job. So how am I going to get around? I have to convince a bitch to let me hold her car. How am I going to get an apartment? I have to convince a woman, right, to put my apartment in her name so I could have somewhere to live, because I don't have a job. It's not, Zip Recruiter and fucking, what's the other job site shit? Indeed and all these places didn't exist. You had to literally get up, put on nice clothes, and go into a place, catch the bus all day, go into a place and hope somebody fucking hire you and talk to them face to face. So that was out for a lot of us, right? So how do you survive? You have to learn how to play on women because they had the resources. So ain't no woman is going to let you hold her car while she's at work so you can sell your fucking drugs out of her car unless she loves you. And so I have to figure out how to make this woman fall in love with me. I have to figure out how to make her fall in love with me so she can risk fucking her credit up to put an apartment in a drug dealer's name. This shit is real. And so I use my life experiences to teach you guys how to deal with the bitches that's today. This is age-old wisdom. So I'm sorry I went on that little rant, but
you don't have to apologize. There's nothing to apologize for. Hey man, I wasn't
trying to go that deep.
I jokingly say this, but my kingdom is built on the back of whores.
It is. Listen.
You know, I can't tell you how many chicks have taken care of me, massaged me, washed my stuff, cleaned my laundry, do what I need done, peasant shit handled, so I can on the fucking big boss shit. You know what I mean?
Let me say this too. I was in prison, right? I did time in prison a long time ago. I was younger, right? Went to prison, I was 20 years old. Hundreds of miles. So when you go to prison, right? When you go to prison, you go hundreds. You're not in the county jail. They ship you off somewhere. How does a 20-year-old convince a woman to come see me, not one, multiple women to come see me every weekend, to put money on my commissary every fucking week, to write me letters every night? How do I convince as a 20-year-old, how do I convince women who's out here in the real world dealing with other guys that can go to the club and get fucked and all that? How do I convince them to invest in a guy who literally has nothing to offer them because he's in prison? I don't have no money, no nothing. It's called game. That's what I had to offer.
Yep.
And the pictures and stuff out there, I post my prison pictures with the chicks and all that shit. 20 years old, I was able to do stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? So I just had to throw that in there.
No, it's great. You know, I'm a student in the game, listening to you as well. I mean, to this day, I have no shame in admitting when someone's better than me in something. I just don't have time for that. It's unnecessary ego.
Right.
You know, I learned so much from you. I think my game went to a whole new level of heights after we got connected. And I still think that I have a lot to learn. As high level as I am, you know, I do believe I still have a lot to learn. Because I think they say, like, for example, when they talk about Socrates, right? They say Socrates said that he was the wisest man, and he was the wisest man because he knew how unwise he was. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you have people who are just constantly saying that, like, I've got it all figured out, stuff, like, every guy thinks they have it figured out, dude. And I assure you, out of the audience members watching, no offense to you guys, but like 99% of you don't have it figured out. Even the guys who are like, friends of mine that have been through my courses and stuff, still, like, the level of game is just not nearly as high as what's on the screen right here. And we're two guys that are going to be bringing all this to you with the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit. But we're not gonna we don't, I mean, I think we talked enough about our points now.
Right.
We're just gonna play you some sections from these courses, because you have a couple of segments from this course we're gonna give the people for free today, right?
Yes. So I want to put in the chat, what do you guys want? Do you want, because I know we're running short on time.
No, we're good. Don't worry about it.
Press 1. What do you guys want first? Do you want a dating part? Do you want to learn how to prevent flakes? Or do you want to see something on investment? So 1 for flakes, preventing flakes. 2 for investment. We'll give you guys 30 seconds. If you don't pick, then I'm going to pick for you. Give you guys 10 seconds to pick.
There you go. 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, instant. Instant. They want that investment game. Okay.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's do it. So you have to share from your end.
Yeah, I got to share from my end. So what we'll do is, it's kind of hard because I'm on my laptop. Uh, so can you see that, bro?
Yep. Are you sharing sound too?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is flake prevention.
No, this is investment.
It says flake prevention
It does?
on the
Oh
screen
shit.
here. It says flake
Okay, okay. I did the wrong one. Sorry.
You're good.
Hurry up, get it together, Dre. Get it together. It's
And
just us.
just so you guys know, like, yeah, this course, the enrollment starts today. I will be emailing people on the email list as well. So if you are on my email list, I'll be sending an email out here shortly. But you really do not want to sleep on this if you're having a tough time with your game. Period. Here we go. All right, here we go.
All right,
Elusive
you ready?
tips on being elusive.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Investment. It is impossible for women to attach themselves and fall in love with what they aren't invested in. Women have to be invested in you financially, emotionally.
No. Let me stop. Let me stop. This is the wrong one. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me stop. This is the wrong one. So I'll do the flake one first, and then we get the other one. So volume was low on that one. So we'll do the flake one first, and then we'll put the other one on. But stay tuned. This is some good game.
Well, they can go. You leave. Go ahead, leave. You tell me how it works. You figure it out on your own. We'll be here. All
right, do it. Share.
Social media.
Here we go.
Or text message if you can help it. A lot of guys meet women on Tinder, meet women on Bumble, slide in the DMs, and after a few minutes of conversation, they try to set a date via the app. And a lot of the times, women will agree. Well, then what happens is on the day of the date, you get the my pet gerbil got into a motorcycle accident, mumbo jumbo excuse. What happened was she don't know you like that to even go on a date. You didn't build anything. You didn't, I don't want to say get to know, but you didn't build a rapport. You have to build a rapport in order to make a sale. You didn't talk to her. You didn't let her feel comfortable with you and, wanting to even go with you because the truth is, you know how many guys hit her up? You know how many guys in her DM? You know how many guys she matched with that she's messaging? Who are you? You didn't put your bid in. You ain't put your game down. You haven't established no value or nothing. Guys who always send me their messages and they're trying to set dates via dating apps and social media. You cannot do that. Get on the phone, call her, talk to her for, 20, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, text her for a few days, maybe not a few days, but text her for a little bit, have a little small conversation, build something, and then ask her on a date, preferably over the phone. The main reason you guys are getting flaked on is because you're trying to set dates via apps when the woman don't know you, she don't know you from a can of paint, and she has a hundred other options. And some of these guys are doing the shit right. Me personally, I like to call it, cooking a bitch, right? I cook her for a little bit. I let her stew. I build some rapport. I have a conversation with her. Chop it up back and forth for a little bit. That way she can feel like she know me a little bit. She can feel like, the attraction grew a little bit. I can pique the interest a little bit more. You understand what I'm saying? And then I go in for the kill. I don't just, hey, how you doing? A couple message. Hey, would you like to go out with me Friday at 8 p.m.? Of course they're gonna say sure. They don't give a fuck about standing you up. They don't give a fuck about your time. They're gonna be like, yeah, sure. Or some of them are gonna say, hey, well, can we talk a little bit more at least, right? So again, of course they're gonna say yeah, right? But then when it's time to actually meet up, they're gonna flake on you. They're gonna say, hey, I ain't gonna be able to make it, or they ain't gonna even respond to your ass anyway. Stop trying to set dates via dating apps, social media. And again, if you can help it, text messages. You have to learn how to let her cook for a bit, build some rapport, build a small connection. I'm gonna talk about building connections in a second, but if you soak this up and apply it, you will reduce your flake rate drastically. Now, number two, it's always better to approach your women in person instead of dating apps. The thing with dating apps, especially today, is the abundance of choice. You will get outbid in a heartbeat. Women are swiping, swiping, swiping. She got 50 matches, right? And so you say, hey, let's go get coffee. You say, hey, let's go get coffee. She say, okay, fine. And then the next guy say, hey, let's go out, you know, and get us a nice steak, and then we'll go bowling after. Well, that sounds a lot better than fucking coffee. And this guy actually looks better than you too, right? Just based on the pictures, he looks better than you, and he seems to be doing better than you. You are going to get flaked on. Why I say in person is because when you get up on a woman in person, she can feel your confidence. She can feel your energy. You can put your game down. She can hear your voice. She can, she can smell how good you smell. She can see you. She can see how attractive you are. And you can leave an impression on her. You can't leave an impression on a woman via a dating app. You see what I'm saying? Or online. You can, but it's a lot easier to do it in person. It's a lot more memorable because you will appeal to a woman's senses. You make her smile. She feels good. She smells the nice cologne. She feels the confidence from you. You understand what I'm saying? Versus you trying to chop it up with a woman online. I'm not saying ditch online dating. I'm not saying that, or, not to source women online, but, you know, your women that you meet in person will always turn out better for you than they do online. In-person approaches will always trump dating apps. So prioritize meeting women in person. And guys always ask me, well, King Dre, where do I meet women? Women are everywhere. Women are at the library, the grocery store. The same women that's at the club are the same women that's pumping gas and buying fucking macaroni and cheese at the store, or, in McDonald's or wherever restaurant you like to eat. They're everywhere. They're at the gym. Whenever you see a woman that you like, just go approach her. That's simple. But there's no, oh, well, go here to find women or go here to find women. No, just whenever you see a woman that's attractive to you, or that you like to smash, or, you like to get to know, just make it a point to yourself that when you see this, every time you see it, you are going to go approach her. When you do this, and you start approaching women in person, and you looking good, you smelling good, your game is tight, watch how much your flake rate go down. This is very underrated and it's very powerful. In-person approaches will always trump dating apps. Another way to, another flake prevention measure is to build a connection. And the next module, we're going to talk about building connections. But, most women require some type of connection in order to, sleep with them. Right. And building a connection is not hard. It's just, finding common ground between you two. And it's your job as the man to lead that. But once you start to build connections with women, and women feel like they know you and they're comfortable with you, they're less likely to flake on you. You understand what I'm saying? So build connections. Now, the fourth flake prevention measure is to make the date offer enticing. I know a lot of guys, even me sometimes, teach you, to just go for coffee dates, go for tea dates, go for ice cream and shit like that. That's cool, especially for very high interest women. Now, what you want to do though, and what'll be a lot more effective, is if you make the date offer more enticing and do something a little bit more fun and interactive. It doesn't have to be expensive. I didn't say take her to go spend 200-300 bucks on dinner, but do things more go shoot pool. That's cheap. That's cheap and affordable and it's fun. Go throw darts, something competitive. Go ride the go-karts together. Go take a walk on the river walk. If your town or your city have a river walk downtown somewhere that's nice and swanky, where you can get drinks and alcohol, not really alcohol, but like ice cream, or hot dog stand, and see the river and the lights. Do stuff like that that's still cheap and that's not gonna break your pockets and have you over investing. But it's a lot better than saying, hey, I'm gonna pull up on you, let's sit in my car, or hey, let's go to the park, or hey, let's go to Starbucks. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to understand they're getting other offers as well. So if she meets a guy that's just as attractive as you, but his date is a lot more enticing, and she only has that Friday night to see you or him, she'll pick him because Top Golf or bowling seems a lot more fun, and interactive than sitting at a fucking coffee date. Again, you do not have to, break the bank. And I don't want you guys doing movie dates, and I don't want you doing elaborate dinner dates, but you still want to do something fun and enticing. Now, the next flake prevention measure is to not wait too long. I know, hey, all these guys tell you, oh, when you get a woman's number, wait a week. Don't fucking do that, especially nowadays. Do not do that. The faster you get in there, the better. I will. When I meet a chick, if I met a chick right now today, right? Let's say if I met her and it's 7 p.m. as I'm recording this. If I met a chick right now at 7 p.m., I'll probably hit her up. If she don't text me first, I'll probably hit her up later on that night to see if she's willing to chop it up with me, right? And this is what, on a Thursday, right? So this is on a Thursday. So I will probably try to get her in this weekend. I'm not waiting no fucking week, because once after after you wait so long, the mystique wears off. They start to go get other shit, or other guys come in, or they go back to their ex, or they go back, from their break with their boyfriend. It's just too much time to be playing around. Get in there, strike while the iron is hot, and close the deal as soon as you can. Stop waiting. That shit is ineffective. It worked, back in the days and shit. That shit used to work because you can build interest and intrigue. But now it's too many guys coming at them. It's way too many guys coming at them. You're not the only attractive guy. You're not the only guy with money. You're not the only high value guy, especially if the woman is, fairly attractive. It's too many guys. All it's gonna take is one of them guys to come in there and scoop her up while you sitting around playing and trying to play Mr. High Value and trying to play Mr. Like you just so fucking busy. Somebody gonna come in and it'll scoop that up. And then when you try to get with her, you try to set something up a week later, you say, hey, let's go get coffee and shit. And she gonna be like, oh yeah, okay. She done forgot you already. She don't know you. It's easy to flake on you. So don't wait too long. Strike while the iron is hot. Stop playing. Again, listen, I don't care what any of these other dating coaches say. I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. And one thing I know is you strike while the iron is hot. When you go approach a woman, and she likes you, she's intrigued and she's interested, you want to catch her while the interest is there, while she's projecting her fantasies. Because the more you let time go on, the more, the logic and reasoning starts. You want to catch her in her emotional state when the interest is high, the attraction is high, the lust is high, and the tension is high. You understand what I'm saying? Strike while the iron hot, and don't wait too long. Now, the next flake prevention measure is to lead and be decisive. Women absolutely despise, they hate indecisive men. They hate men who are not leaders. When you set the date, don't sit there and ask her, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you want to do? What you want to eat? No, you lead and you say, hey, listen, when are you free? I'm free on Saturday. Okay, cool. I know this dope ass taco spot downtown, and we're gonna go there at Saturday night at 9 p.m. Wear something nice for me. And women will see that and they be like, oh, I like him. He's decisive. He knows what he wants. He's a leader. But when you sit around doing all of that, oh, what do you want? It's cool. You can eat whatever you want. Anywhere you want to go, just let me know. Or, do you think you'll be free to come out with me? And she's going to be like, well, I don't know if I'm free to come out with you. I don't know if I'm free. Am I? You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of shit to where, they can't make the decision and you can't either. So they just gonna flake on you and they're gonna find somebody who can do the fucking job, who can be a leader. I'm telling you guys have to learn how to compete. You guys, there are other players out here. There are guys out here who know what the fuck they doing. And if she want to cross one of these guys, it's over for you. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to be a leader and be decisive and make decisions. I'm telling you, women respect it. They actually are very turned on by shit like that. And it'll help you close the deal a lot faster when you can be this way. Now, the last flake prevention measure that I want to talk about is I'm going to need you guys to be attractive physically and internally. Physical attraction, the way you smell, the way you look. You understand what I'm saying? The way you're groomed, the type of clothes you have on, your posture. This is physical attraction. Don't worry about height. Don't worry about things that you can't change. Don't worry about that. Worry about the things that you can change. When you are physically attractive, you leave an impression on people, especially women, especially if you smell good. You understand what I'm saying? Make yourself as physically attractive as possible. And when you are attractive, they are going to want a piece of you. Now let's look at internally, your confidence, your charm. And by the way, again, if you bought this course, go to Attraction 101 course and study that thoroughly. I break this physical and internal attraction down thoroughly in that course. Go study that. But back to it. Internally, right? This is your personality, your confidence, your charm. You understand? Your leadership ability, your ability to be decisive and, witty and charming. I said charming already. Funny if you are funny. You know, ambitious. These things make you attractive, and women find these type of qualities irresistible. And when you can make an impression on her, right? When you can go up to her and you're attractive physically and internally, a lot of guys aren't, right? All those guys that approach her today, they ain't really attractive like that. But when you got both of them like that, you're going to make an impression on her. And in a woman's mind, she doesn't want to throw away what's hard to get. And what's hard to get is a very attractive man, attractive physically, and he has a personality. That's rare for her to find. So when you have both of these in order, she's going to make sure that she get up with you so she can give you some of that ass. She's not going to, be so eager to flake on you and reject you. Make sure you're attractive physically and internally, and you can make yourself attractive. This is something that you can change. Some of you guys may need a little bit more work than others. Like if you fat or some shit like that, you may need a little bit more work to, get in the gym, get your diet right. But you have to do this. You have to make yourself as attractive as possible, physically and internally.
Wow. That was one hell of a. You're muted.
They're gonna love that next one.
That was one hell of a solid breakdown. But I mean, that's 10 out of 10. It's so funny because there's a lot of correlation there with sales. For me, like, I don't really give a shit about the double texting, or like if I see a chick will read my message and then she didn't get back to me, I'll pick up the phone and call her. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, when you get to a certain level, you pretty much do what you want to do.
No, because at the end of the day, I still have $150,000 strapped to my wrist. I'm the man already.
Yeah.
Like, I'll triple text a bitch if I want to. I don't care. But also, this confidence really comes from I've already done it. You know what I mean? And like the thing is, it's like what Morpheus said in the Matrix. In order to know, you have to know the rules so you can understand which ones you can bend and which ones you can break.
Right.
Once you achieve the level of mastery, a lot of men don't even know the rules yet of the game.
The crazy part about it is when you learn how to meet a woman's true needs, through what I teach, you can break all the fucking rules. It's guys who beat on women and they still stay. And they convince the woman that this is a sad thing. I'm not condoning nobody to put their inner ike. We're not condoning that, but it just happens. And the women, these guys are so good at convincing these women that that's love. And the women believe that it's actually love. So what I'm saying is, once you get to a certain level, rules don't matter no more. These rules that they teach you, wait a week to text her and all that shit don't matter. None of it matters. And that's what I want you guys to be.
So that's a pretty, mentally stimulating statement you made there. So let me ask you this. What are a woman's needs? What is that guy doing to fulfill those needs?
It depends on, and that's coming up. I got a breakdown that's coming up. Because we're gonna get out of this in a few months. I'm going to start teaching guys how to individually learn. Because women are the same. It's just like different, like the same template, but each woman has been somewhere. Each woman comes from a different type of background. Each woman comes from a different place, had a different upbringing, been through different things. And so their needs are different. You see what I'm saying? Now, the basic template, which is everybody teach, women need an alpha leader, a provider, protector. That's basic. But it gets deeper than that when you lift up the hood. Some women want to be encouraged, right? Because her dad never encouraged her. Some women want to be held every night. Some women want to be told, you look beautiful today. Some women want to be, tied up. Some women want a combination of things. The key is you have to learn. If you want to get really good at it, you have to learn why your woman is with you. and your woman is not with you, yes, the money, it's the muscles, it's the game, it's the frame, it's all of that. But she saw something in you that you can meet a need that goes a little bit deeper. And you have to learn how to figure that out.
Are you going to be teaching that to men? Because that's valuable.
Yeah. That's next. That we go, because we once we get this out of the way, I'm gonna get into now I want to kind of promote that here, but I'm gonna get into like real seduction.
Well, let's just talk about the Ultimate Ladies Man Summit
Okay.
right now. And the second part of this is the formula for investment, which none of these armchair alphas know anything about this. These red
No,
pill.
they don't. They do now because I know a couple of them bought my course.
Yeah.
Right. So you're starting to see a lot of guys kind of talk about, oh, a woman needs to be invested in you. Now, I didn't invent the concept. That's pimp game. That's what pimps do.
Yeah.
Right. My father taught me this in high school. I learned coming into dealing with women. I learned to do this. Right. But when I came to this space, nobody even knew. It was like, take a woman on dates, do this. It was do this. It was basically playing ego games with women. Whereas I came with a different approach. And at first, a lot of guys, as you know, was like, what the fuck is he talking about? That's bullshit, right? Until they start trying it and seeing how effective it is.
I like your white guy voice.
Huh?
I like your white guy voice.
Fuck is this darky talking about? Fuck
What is this Negro saying?
Fuck is this Negro saying? But yeah, so
this channel should be banned.
Yeah. But nah, and I'm not saying that to like be braggadocious, but if you go back and look at everybody's work, my work is there. I came here talking about shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was a foreign concept to the space, not the world, because guys who have real game know that. So yes, it's an investment game. Now you need more than investment, but investment is a critical part of any fucking seduction, of any relationship. When you go, the reason why people love the military is because, you know, military men invest their time and they sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? The United States government has done a good job at getting people to sacrifice their time. And you have guys who served in Vietnam 50 years ago, however long that was, and they sitting old and they got their little hats on with the fucking pins and shit, and they that proud of it because of what they invested and sacrifice. And so that philosophy and that strategy I've always employed with my women. This is why I was able to get a woman to come drive hundreds of miles to come see me in prison, and I had nothing to offer her but game. When she do it the first time, and she got to scrape, she's 19, 20 years old, she got to scrape up gas to come drive and invest a whole Saturday when she could have went out and, you know, met some alphas in the club or whatever. She gave that to me. Now I got her hooked. You know, and in the course, I teach you how to do this, and I teach you how to start very small so where it's not even noticeable. And the next thing you know, she going to the moon for you. You know, so I'll give you guys a little preview.
So let me ask you a question. About investment. Let's say a guy's out there, he's dating a girl, right? Should he have her get him a very expensive gift for his birthday from her? Is that considered investment, or is that not considered?
Yeah, it can be, but to make it more authentic, that'll work. But to make it more authentic, you want her to get you something that's maybe not expensive on the monetary side, but it's expensive as far as thought and effort, because, you know, women care about their money too, but women are very like thoughtful. And when they get to go into their nurturing and tap into that femininity and they give this to you and they see it affects you positively, it's like a drug. You see what I'm saying? So if a woman go out of her way to be thoughtful and do all this shit for you, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but money is effective too. So like if a bitch got, you know, a woman got, you know, she got her last $20,000 in the bank and she take 10,000 of that and buy you a Rolex, she hooked, right? So money is cool, but don't forget the intangible parts too. And I'll talk about that in this preview. It's not just monetary, it's intangible things too. So if you got a woman who wants to give you something, you know, if she can't afford something expensive, you know, encourage her to be thoughtful. And when she gives you this, you have to give her the validation she's looking for being thoughtful. And you have to do that in a way that she appreciates that. It's very effective. And this is the shit that these guys don't teach on these streets.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Well, let's get this this module up and running here. We're going to talk a
okay.
little bit about investment. This is a very high level concept, and for you guys that are constantly worrying, is she going to cheat? Is she going to leave me? This can be a way to cheat proof and to
Basically.
ghost proof your relationship. You
Basically.
because the thing is this too, right? And I want to add. Oh, you prep that up. Let me know when it's ready. The thing is this too, right? The reason why modern women walk away from modern men nowadays is because men just roll out the fucking red carpet for these girls, and they walk in like, I don't do anything, I have no commitments, everything's free. This guy fucking validates me 24/7. I don't pay for anything. He doesn't ask, like, I try to help. He's like, no, don't. I'll do all the
do it.
dishes.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
do
the biggest
everything.
fucking mistake guys make.
Mhm.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and you're walking her right off the cliff. There, that guy who was with that woman, and Drake hit on her, and then she rejected him. That guy was just
Right.
like an average kind of guy,
The average dude
but the dude had her up here,
up here.
and
Why would
she
I throw away 10 years for one night? See, yeah, a whore will do that who don't have no investment. So if you got a woman and you do everything for her and Drake hit her up, it's like, what am I walking away from?
Yeah.
But I'm not going, women are not going to walk away from what they've built. And you have to make them build. You have to make them build with you and not just sit there and fucking, and sex and fucking cooking ain't enough.
No.
But I teach you how to do all of that shit. And it's very important because this helps her get in tune with her feminine side, her nurturing side, her caring side. Just like you want to feel masculine and help a bitch out, and you can rescue the damsel in distress. You say, "Oh, baby, you're so strong. Oh, I appreciate you so much." You feel just like, yeah. Like when you can pull this out of a woman, it's very intoxicating, just like it's intoxicating for you when she make you feel strong and masculine. You know what I'm saying? So guys don't know this today. And it's very important.
All right, let's
But
jump
it's
into
ready.
it.
We ready.
Investment. Here we go.
That's right. Okay. It's very, very investment. It's very, very, very important component. Make sure you're paying attention. Pay attention to all of it. But this is very, very important. Right? Now, it is impossible for women to attach themselves and fall in love with what they aren't invested in. The reason the divorce rates are so high is because women are walking away from things that they did not help build. Most guys meet women and they sweep them off their feet and they take care of them, and all the woman has to do is look pretty and provide sex and maybe provide some children. And so in 15, 20 years, the woman had to do absolutely nothing. And that's why it's easy for her to walk away, because she didn't help build anything. She didn't do anything but look pretty, be a headache, have sex every now and again, and cook or some shit like that. But when a woman is invested, it's very hard for her to walk away. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It is impossible for women to attach themselves and fall in love with what they aren't invested in. You have to get women invested. Now, a woman's investment must be greater than yours, right? And this isn't to play games, right? This isn't, oh, well, she invests this, so I'm gonna invest this little bit. No. What this does is keeps you on your square, especially if you're starting out, if you're not as advanced, if you're a rookie in this game, is to keep you on your square so you're not simping trying to get a return on your investment. Because what happens is when you over invest, you simp out to get the return, or you act in ways that's unattractive to try to get a return on your investment. You see what I'm saying? Again, this ain't to play games. Once you get solid enough, once you get advanced enough in your game and the way that you handle things, and you become a more solid, well-rounded man as far as this game go, then you don't have to worry about what you invest. But in the beginning, make sure she's a little bit more invested than you are. Now, a big part of investment is cooperation. Remember, investment is not always tangible. In fact, a major part of investment when it comes to love is intangible things like cooperation and submission and investing emotions. I'm not, diminishing tangible investments. In fact, Pimps make their prostitutes invest in them tangibly with money, right? The woman has to go out, get the money, and bring it back to the pimp. That's how she proves her loyalty to him, right? And the more she does this, the more she invests money into him, it's harder for her to leave. So that's some pimp game. But I'm not telling you to put your woman on a stroll or pimp your woman out. But that just goes to show you how powerful investment is. Now let's get back to cooperation. Cooperation is assistance, or especially by ready compliance with requests. So basically, doing what you say or granting your requests without complaint. Now, the more she cooperates and the more she submits herself, the more she will become emotionally invested because they are letting go of themselves and stepping away from their own values and agenda to accommodate yours. So when a woman is cooperating with you, when a woman is doing things that you want her to do, she's taking a piece of herself to give it to you. And the more that she does this, the more that she comes into your frame. You see what I'm saying? The more that she's investing into your frame and into your situation, the more she falls in love. You understand what I'm saying? Most guys give to women, and all women have to do is just sit there, and women get bored and they don't like it. This is why you see the telltale story of the guy who did it all for the woman, and a woman still left him and she wasn't happy because maybe that's not what she wanted. You ever thought about that? You see what I'm saying? You have to get women to invest in you. One of the ways is by cooperation, right? You know, again, the more she gives you to herself, the more she becomes emotionally invested because she's letting herself go to accommodate you. Whenever you let yourself go, and whenever you, uh, you know, um, step away from your own self, your own ideas to accommodate somebody else, this is going to make you emotionally invested in them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you always want to require full cooperation. If she ain't cooperating, you don't engage. I'm not saying not to let your woman have a mind of her own, or your woman shouldn't. The woman that you dealing with, or women that you dealing with, shouldn't want what they want, or because they people and they humans too. But you should never be in a situation to where a woman is being bitchy, a woman is being masculine, a woman is not easy to get along with. She should always be cooperating. And if she ain't cooperating, then you don't engage, and you need to be diligent with this, right? She must understand that without cooperation, there's no situation. Because if there's no cooperation, there's no submission. Cooperation is the precursor to submission. Before she can submit to you, she has to cooperate first. You understand what I'm saying? And we working on is getting to her to be submissive. So she has to be cooperative first. If she can see that she don't have to even cooperate with you, right? Then she ain't gonna never submit to you. Now, you want to start directing her cooperation immediately. You want to start making her be cooperative and directing and leading her to be cooperative immediately from the immediate interaction. And I'll tell you how to do just that with a few examples. Now, these are some examples of cooperation, especially in the beginning, right? So when you meet a woman, or you meet her in public, or if you talk to her on a dating app, what I do to test them and to guide them into cooperation is I give them my number first, and I tell them to hit me up at a specific time. Hey, call me tonight around 9. Call me tonight around 10. Or I'll text them on a date. Or when we texting on a dating app, I get them my number. I say, look, here go my number. I don't be on here like that, or whatever I say to them to pull them off. Here go my number. Text me right now. Or I'm working right now. Text me at 9 o'clock. And when they do this, that shows that they open to cooperating with you and that they're cooperative women. And you should always see that as a green light. You know what I'm saying? Those are little small ways to kind of direct cooperation. Another thing is asking for pictures. Now, this one is kind of annoying because guys always ask them for pictures. But if you ask them for a picture and they give it to you, that's showing that they cooperating with you. You see what I'm saying? And you make sure when they send you a picture, you throw them a bone. When I say throw them a bone, give them a little validation when they send you the picture. You know what I'm saying? Make it worth their while. Again, a validation for women is like their battery. Um, Yeah, I don't mean you don't have to sip out. You don't have to be like, oh, you're the most beautiful thing in the world. But just say, oh, um, if you've been dealing with her for a while and she sent you a picture, you ask for a picture and she sent it to you, say, I can't wait till I get my hands on you. You don't want to do that at the beginning if you haven't established anything sexual or there hasn't been any sexual chemistry built yet. But just give them a bone. Oh damn, I like that hair. I like the way you put that lipstick together, or I like that lipstick, or I like the way your hair popping, or something like that. You don't have to be, you don't have to be regular like every guy. Oh, you're so fine, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. But just throw them a bone if they do send you that picture. Um, Another one is giving them a specific time to text or call you. So let's say y'all talking, you say, hey, look, I gotta go to work, but call me tonight around 9 p.m. or call me tonight around 9:30. Or I get off at 10 o'clock, text me at 10:30, text me at 11 o'clock. Give them specific instructions. You want to, give them specific instructions. And then when they do it, that's them cooperating with you, right? Another thing that I like to do is I tell them to wear something specific, like, oh, dress up like this for me. So let's say y'all getting ready to go on a date or whatever, and y'all have a date plan. You tell her to wear something sexy or tell her to wear something nice or wear a certain color. Me, when I do it, when women come to my house, I tell them don't wear jeans. And that's because me, I just don't like the way jeans feel. I'm a touchy feely type of person. And I think jeans are like, automatic cock blocks. So I just tell women don't wear jeans. And when they don't wear jeans to my house, I know that, they cooperating with me. You feel what I'm saying? The key is just to get them to basically do what you ask them to do, or be a certain type of way, or get them to follow little small instructions. You want to start small, start very, very, very small in the beginning, and then you work your way up. But the more they cooperating with you, the more that they the more that they cooperating with you, the more that they doing the things that you ask them to do, or going along with your program, the more they become emotionally invested in you. And this is also a good sign that they like you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what you want to do too, a sign of cooperation is when they don't complain about stuff. Like if you're ever out with a woman, or a woman is at your house, or you kicking it with a woman and she's complaining about shit, that's not a cooperative woman, because a cooperative woman will look past things that she may not like, in an effort to appease and please you, and to make a good impression on you. See what I'm saying? A complaining woman, she's out, you out of the restaurant, she's complaining about the food, she's complaining about the service, she's complaining about it's hot, she's complaining about it's mosquitoes, she's complaining this and this and that. She's doing a lot of complaining, and she's not cooperative. You know what I'm saying? You want compliance without complaints, basically. Now, next we have submission, right? All
I
right,
yeah, I think I think that's all
a
they
little
get.
too much.
I think it's a little too much
It's getting about
sauce.
to get hot.
Ah, oh man,
Yeah.
the total package, man. No, it's so funny because it's just universally um applicable to female everywhere. For me, one thing I do when I'm on a date with the girls here in Japan, no matter where we're going, I always make sure like I choose where we're sitting. I'm like, nah, I don't like, even if I just always tell the bar, like the people sitting us, whatever, if I don't feel comfortable in one area, like I don't like sitting right next to the door of
Yeah.
the kitchen where people coming in and out, and it's like you can hear the
Hmm.
criminals behind the chef cussing and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hearing any of that. And then I like to have situational awareness, like to have an eye on the door. But
Yeah.
most importantly, I make sure the girl sits next to me. I don't like
Mm.
them sitting across from me. It's like a fucking. I don't feel like I want to feel like a prosecutor, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I like them to sit next to me, and it's little things like that that when they submit and they go into your frame, it's it's just incremental, 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 and that's the thing. That's that you know what this is like. This may seem sinister, this may seem evil or whatever, but the reality is this is the natural way of things. The woman is supposed to follow the man. And the only people objecting that are corporations who want to manipulate these women, saying, no, no, you have the freedom to do whatever you want, including buying our product here at fucking
Hmm.
Dove or whatever, or the government. Because if you look at the people, who are fleecing women the hardest. It's politicians who are trying to fleece them for votes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so this is absolutely imperative to any guy who wants to have either casual relationships or multiple relationships with women.
Right.
And if you don't have that, well,
good luck.
Luck isn't even going to save you. It's like just the real thing is TikTok, because it's only a matter of time before she leaves you, cheats you, dumps you. You know, it's hard, cold world out there, bro. It's pimp or be pimped, and women don't want to be the leader. You ever notice a woman that cheats? She usually cheats with the guy that has been pursuing her and taking the leadership role above her man. Okay,
right.
So that's what we got there. And those are two small segments out of
two different courses.
2 different courses out of 12 hours. We just showed you collectively 25 minutes of 12 hours. And that's just the video courses, because you get 4 video courses and you get to go to the live coaching that starts next week on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the total ladies man package, baby. Honestly speaking, I can just tell you right now, if you're watching us, you need help with your game. I can just assure you. And so ask yourself a question. How long are you just going to sit by and tolerate life without a woman in your life? How long are you going to be just miserable, unhappy, and alone? Even if you got a bunch of money, but you got no woman to share it with, no happiness in your life. Men and women are supposed to be together. We're supposed to be together. That's why you like women. That's why you're watching the show. This is why women put like on tons and tons and tons of makeup and inject chemicals in their ass and get BBLs and fucking lips and Botox and all that stuff, because they want men.
Right.
We're supposed to be together. So learn how to be the master of your relationship, the master of your life, and the master of your woman, and she will gladly serve you with a smile on her face.
For sure.
Well, that's it. So again, the link is right there in the chat. The link is here in the description box below. Friday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So Cali guys, it's 9 p.m. I go to bed early. He'll tell you.
Yep. Listen, Cali boys, you better get that money right.
I go to bed early. So yeah, also too, what I didn't mention is when you get the summit, you get 6 months into access to the Players Club.
What's the Players Club?
It's my private group. So we do coaching twice a month. So I coach you twice a month. You can meet with me via Zoom for 6 months. That alone is worth the price, just to have access to me, to be able to message me. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you can also ask questions. It's a private group on an app. You know, like how some guys do the Telegram. We just have it on the app. So it's more like, you know, it's almost like Facebook, but it's just us, this private group. So you get access to this for 6 months for free.
Yeah.
And it's direct access to me. You can hit me up anytime, you know, because I'm a very busy man. I have 1 million+ followers, so I don't answer my regular DMs like that because I get bombarded, and I don't even control some of my pages no more. So if you want direct access to me, the Players Club is where you need to be.
And you get that totally for free.
6 months. 6 months.
Totally free. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. Don't forget, click the link in the description box below. Join us. You'll see me on the inside. It's going to be lit. Until then, boys, we see you next time.
Peace.